Good morning, everybody. How you all doing? This is another episode of Away Days. Welcome back to the channel. It's Dino. If you're listening in, you listen on podcast, and if you're watching me on YouTube. Um, just a quick catch up in regards to results. In regards to goings on in the rest of the sporting world, which I'm just going to quickly bring up over the course of mixture of the last week and probably actually the course of the last month in general of what's going on. So just gonna quickly touch on everything. I'm gonna start off with Formula One. Um, well, we said at the start of the season, I think, based on how it was all going, that Max Verstappen was going to win the championship. Um, yeah, he has won it. Don't know what more I can say about that one. He won the last race in Qatar, and he's currently, well, I do stands in the moment, but he's going into the last race of the season, which is this weekend coming in Abu Dhabi, on Sunday the 8th. That's the race. So yeah, Max at the moment, he's on 429 points. Lando Norris is on 349. Charles Leclerc's on 341. Oscar Piastri is on 291. Carlos Sainz is on 272. George Russell's on 235, and Lewis Hamilton is on 211 points. So congratulations to Max Verstappen on winning another championship. Hopefully it'll be a lot closer next season. I think there's going to be quite a few driver changes around. I think, if I recall, Lewis Hamilton is moving to Ferrari. And I think I saw something somewhere where Max has lost all sorts of respect for a certain driver. So things might be looking a bit interesting for next season. So hopefully things will be a bit more open and more competitive next season in Formula One. So yeah, just want to quickly bring that one up as well. Just a quick catch up on Formula One season as it's coming to a close. The next thing I'm going to bring up for all you wrestling fans out there, there's been a couple of pay-per-views that have gone by, but there was one which took place last weekend. I'm sure all you wrestling fans have watched it. It was Survivor Series War Games. It took place in Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada. What could I mean, I would have said, I gave. It was an okay pay-per-view. There were some good matches. There was 5 matches. 2 of them were the War Games matches itself for the men and women respectively. In which in the women's match it was Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Io Sky and Bayley. They beat Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae. They beat them, which I kind of predicted was going to happen. The only thing which I was looking out for was kind of going to see if WWE were going to be adventurous and see if Tiffany Stratton was going to cash in on one of the champions, but it never happened. I think they're going to be saving that one until Royal Rumble. I don't know. Shinsuke Nakamura defeat LA Knight to become the new WWE United States champion. Braun Breaker defeated Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser, which was, from what I remember seeing of it, that was actually quite a decent match. I think Ludwig Kaiser is actually really raising his game now, and I think he's gonna be a champion at some point. He's gonna be a mid-level champion. He will win something. He's actually very, very good in the ring. Gunther defeated Damian Priest by technical submission in the World Heavyweight Championship match. There was a bit of interference from Finn Balor in that regard, and he then, for the night on Raw, he went after Gunther. So there's going to be a bit of a thing there. Finn Balor can't let go. You have to let go, bro. And then in the last match, the men's War Games match, there's Roman Reigns, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and CM Punk defeated the new bloodline of Solo, Jacob, Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa and Bronson Reed. They beat them by pinfall. Also, Jacob Fatu is just, well, Jacob Fatu is something else in the ring. He's brilliant in the ring. He's got the speed, he's got size, strength, endurance. He's just, yeah, brilliant guy in the ring, man. I have to get that guy his flowers every time he performs in the ring. As I said, if I had to give this pay-per-view a rating out of 10, I'll give it 6, I think. Gradually WWE are gradually starting to get the gist of actually getting things back up again, because over the course of the last few years, it has been quite poor with some of the storylines and with how things have been going. You could, in a sense, blame the pandemic for that, because they got rid of so many people. But from what I'm seeing, there could be a few people coming back, and the Royal Rumble's on its way. I know there's probably gonna be certain people coming back as well. One of my boys actually in my wrestling group actually said there's a spoiler alert out in which they know who's gonna win the men and women's Royal Rumbles. One of my boys said it was going to be Reigns and Charlotte Flair. I think Charlotte Flair will come back, but whether she wins it, I don't know. I also think that Alexa Bliss may come back as well. She's been away for a bit of a while, and if I recall, a maternity leave and I think Carmella as well. So they may all come back. Becky Lynch has been away for as well, so there could be quite a few comebacks in the Women's Royal Rumble. Could be a couple in the men's. From what I understand, from what I understood, Rusev or Miro, he got let go by AEW, so you never know. You can see him come back. We'll see. But Triple H has started to realize things now, and I think the creative writers have actually started to raise their game, and I think that's good. There's a lot of storylines which are in place with WWE, which you could go for in the long term, which could be well written to WrestleMania. Seth and CM Punk especially, I'd love to see a match between them two. I think that'd be a brilliant matchup to lead up to maybe WrestleMania. I think that'd be a good matchup with the both of them two. So watch this space. We'll see how it goes. Incidentally, the next pay-per-view event is the Royal Rumble. That is on the 1st of February, which is a bit out of the ordinary, because normally Royal Rumble's in January, but this time it's in February, and it takes place in Indianapolis as well. So we'll be looking forward to the Royal Rumble coming up very, very soon. So I'll keep a look at, guys. I'm going to do what I normally do with the next two things, with the NHL and the NBA. Obviously, when it comes to results in both of these two leagues, these guys play games every 2 to 3 days, so I can't really go too much into the results in regards to who's won, who's not won. But if you want to keep track of the results, or if you have a favourite team, do keep notifications on your favourite team, or go onto NHL.com or NBA.com, and you can see all the latest going on there. But what I will do, guys, is just go to the standings, just to give you guys a heads up of what's going on with the NBA at the moment. The same with the NBA as well. I'm literally on the tablet right now, just doing all this. So just bear with me for 1 second. This thing is taking ages. I do not want to do that. I'm going to skip that. And now we're going to go next. Skip that. I should have done this before I came on, actually, but there you go. Too bad. So at the moment we have next show. Here we go. Games. You know what? I'm going to come off that. And I'm going to come here. So, current standings. I'm going to start with the East. The Cleveland Cavaliers are still top. They've got a record of 19-3. The defending champions, the Boston Celtics, are 18-4, followed by the Orlando Magic, the New York Knicks, and the Milwaukee Bucks. My boys, the Atlanta Falcons, are the 6th seed at the moment on a 12-11 record. And the bottom half of the East is the Washington Wizards, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Charlotte Hornets, Toronto Raptors, Detroit Pistons, who are at the bottom in the bottom 5 spots. Miami, Brooklyn, Chicago, and Indiana are all on 10 and 10, 10 and 13, 9 and 13, and 9 and 14 records, respectively. If we go down to the West, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma Thunder are on 16-5 record, followed a game behind by the Houston Rockets, followed by the Dallas Mavericks. The Memphis Grizzlies both on 14-8 record, with the Phoenix Suns on 12-8 with the Golden State Warriors. In the bottom half, you've got the New Orleans Pelicans on 4-18, Utah Jazz on 4-17, Portland, Sacramento, and Minnesota Timberwolves are a couple of games ahead of those. And the Clippers, the Denver Nuggets, the Lakers, and the San Antonio Spurs are on 14, 10, 11 and 8, 12 and 10, and 11 and 10 records respectively. Also, like I said, if you want to keep up to date with the NBA, do go on the NBA website, nba.com, or download the app on your tablets, and you can catch up with all the latest scores and everything with what's going on in the NBA. But right now, I think the best team in the NBA right now is Cleveland. They actually did go at one point. I think they were like 16. Were they 16-0? They were like 14 or 15-0. But since then they're 19-3 now, so they've lost a couple of games, but they've been looking very, very good. So that is the NBA. And if I now turn to where is my NHL? If I go to the NHL. Let's go to the NHL. The NHL. You go down here. Oh, here we go. The NHL is actually looking a bit mad right now. The website has actually been a bit stupid. Okay, I can't bring on the NHL. Okay, for some reason it's crashed. I was looking at the results on the NHL on my tablet, but it's actually crashed. But so I can't bring you the standings in the moment in the NHL. However, again, same thing with the replies of the NHL to the NBA. If you want to keep tabs with the NHL, go on NHL.com. And also, if you want to download the app where you can get all the latest news on your favorite team, your favorite players. So you can actually do that as well on CBS Sports. CBS Sports is actually very, very good as well. So that keeps you up to date with all your sports. If you like college football and everything like that, you can keep tabs on all your sports, all your teams. Again, the notifications will come up there. So yeah, do keep track if you want, you guys, on both the NHL and the NBA. If you like the MLS as well, the MLS, I believe at the moment now, they are on off season now. They will be probably going back for pre-season training probably at the end of January, I believe. And the season for that starts again in late March, early April, I believe. So that's the MLS as well. Obviously, the NFL I'll speak to you about when it comes to these boys. I can speak to you about them as well. I've got to speak to you about these guys, both of them, in my 2 cents, particularly here, because they played yesterday. So yeah, watch out for my 2 cents as well coming up. Just a couple more things which I was going to bring up as well. Let me go to my Sky Sports. So I did mention before that it's not just about the Premiership when it comes to football, and I'm an advocate for looking out for the lower league teams, and I've always have done for years. From when I was a kid, I always just loved watching the lower league teams. For anyone who used to watch Football League Review back in the day on ITV, yeah, and it's on in the present day as well. So always like watching these teams. So I thought, you know what, I want to just mention these guys, these teams, because they don't get enough recognition in the lower league sometimes. So just gonna, again, similar thing like what I've done with the NHL and the NBA. Just gonna go to the tables for the championships. For the championship, League One and League Two. I'm going to start in the championship. Sheffield United are currently top on 38 points, with Burnley, Leeds, and Sunderland not too far behind on 36, 35, and 33 points respectively. Middlesbrough and Watford are in the other two current playoff spots at the moment. If we go to the bottom half of the table, we've got Portsmouth at the bottom on 13 points, with QPR and Hull in the other relegation spots on 15 points, followed by Plymouth and Cardiff. The one thing I meant to see every time I see Plymouth, I don't know if there are any Plymouth fans out there, but every time I see Plymouth, they always seem to be getting an arse whooping. I don't know what Wayne Rooney's doing, but it seems to be becoming a slow trend that whatever team he seems to be managing, they seem to be getting beat quite comprehensively. I don't know why. Most people probably just say because he's not that good, but go give him a chance. But yeah, that's the championship. Yeah, Luton, Preston, Oxford City, Coventry, Derby, Stoke, Swansea, Sheffield Wednesday, Bristol City, Millwall, Norwich, Blackburn, and West Brom. I've just done that from 21st up to 7th. So West Brom are currently in 7th place. West Brom looking like they're the draw specialists in the league. They've drawn 10 games and they've only lost 2, but you know, fair play to them. But again, from what I'm seeing, you know, the championship as always is very, very tight. This is one of the toughest divisions in English football. You never know who's going to do well in this division. Any one of these teams could on their day could do something, but it's looking like Sheffield United are taking the ball by the horns and saying, right, it's our turn to challenge and go up again. But which, you know, would be good for them considering how they went down last season. So you know, we'll see how it goes for them. Same with Burnley, actually. In fact, the top 3 teams all went down last season. So, you know, we'll see how it goes for them in that regard. All the teams have played now 17, 18 games. So, Portsmouth do have a couple of games in hand as well. So, you know, that plays into their advantage as well. So, we'll see what happens there. We go to League One. League One, currently at the top is Wycombe Wanderers on 39 points, with Wrexham not too far on 37, Birmingham on 36 points as well. Then you have Huddersfield, Stockport County, Reading and Bolton. The latter 3 are on 30 points. In the bottom half, you've got Shrewsbury and Burton both tied on 11 points, with Cambridge and Northampton just ahead of them. Northampton have a bit of a gap on 18 points, along with Leyton Orient, with Crawley a point ahead of them. And then after that, with the mid-table teams, you've got Rotherham, Wigan, Bristol Rovers, Peterborough, Stevenage, Charlton, Blackpool, Exeter, Mansfield, Lincoln City, Barnsley and Bolton all propping up in mid-table. Bolton are on 30 points also, with Reading and Stockport. Again, been keeping a bit of an eye on Wrexham because they've had back-to-back promotions. That is Ryan Reynolds' team. Doing well, looking like they could get promoted to the championship. Whether, you know, apparently, you know, financial fair play might catch up to them at some point, but who knows? But they're doing well now, you know, which I think is good. Be very, very interesting if they get into the championship next season, because then you have 3 Welsh teams in the championship, which would be, you know, when they play each other, would be very, very mad. It's really crazy enough as it is when Cardiff and Swansea play each other. So we'll see how it looks when a team from North Wales plays a team from South Wales. But again, another league which is, you know, a bit more spread out, but you know, you get an idea of who's going to be doing what and where in League One. So we'll see how that goes as we're now approaching Christmas, and then by the time we get to February, you start getting an idea of who's going to be in the playoffs and who's fighting for going automatically for promotion. So again, good luck to all the teams in League One as well. And League Two, Port Vale are top on 35 points, with Walsall a point behind. Doncaster Rovers and the MK Dons and Crew Alexandra are a few points behind them, with Notts County and Grimsby on 28 points respectively. In the low half of the table, you've got Swindon Town on 13 points, with Carlisle and Morecambe on 14. A few points ahead of them is Tranmere and Accrington Stanley, and I've got to give a shout out to Bromley, because I don't live too far from Bromley, the great London borough of Bromley, which I've lived in for the last how many years, and I've got my family down in the borough of Bromley. I've seen this team again. This is a team which I've seen go up. This is a proper, not Sunday league team, but they're a semi-professional team, who are like right in the depths, and they've just promoted themselves, and now they're in League Two, and it's so great to see Bromley in League Two. It was also great to see Sutton in League Two as well before they got relegated. But it's great to see them down there, struggling a little bit right now. But that I think they're still finding their feet. But they're not bottom. They're not. They're doing well for what they do. They've only lost 5 games as well, so it's not like they're doing too badly, and their goal difference is only -1. So Bromley, I'm rooting for you. Let's keep it going, guys. Hope you guys can improve a little bit more and get some better results as the season progresses. You then have, after that, you've got Harrogate Town, Colchester, Newport, Cheltenham, Fleetwood Town, Barrow, Gillingham, Salford City, Bradford, Chesterfield, and AFC Wimbledon, all propping up in the mid-table positions. Again, this division it's a tough division. The top 3 go up automatically, and then teams in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th play in the playoffs, and then it's the bottom 2 that go down. So hopefully Bromley will not be in one of those positions. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes from there. Let's see now. So I want to bring up this. I can bring it up because I know next week is the big one. No, not next week. Next month. Sorry, if I can go to it. Let's see, where are we? We've got the FA Cup. So yeah, oh yeah. So the FA Cup, the FA Cup draw got made earlier this week, and the draw brought up some very interesting interesting ties. There were, let's bring up quickly, guys. Sorry, guys, I'll just bring this up for you because there's some very interesting matches which were made. If we can go back to it, so one sec. Let me just bring it up to you. If I can get it up, let's see. So there we go. I'll go to the FA. I'll go to the FA's. Here we go. Right. So, as I said, the FA Cup third round draw has been made. Now, with the FA Cup, for anyone that doesn't know, this is the round where the Championship and the Premiership teams come in to play the teams in League One, League Two, and in the lower division in non-league. Again, there's been some very interesting ties. Quite a few teams in the Premiership have played each other. Quite a few interesting ones in regards to Premiership and lower league games being played as well. I'll start. I'll just call them all out. There's 32 ties, as we know. So the draw is as follows: Southampton versus Swansea. The tie of the round is probably Arsenal versus Manchester United. They played yesterday, but I'll speak more about Arsenal in my 2 cents later on today. Exeter versus Oxford City. Leyton Orient versus Derby County. Reading versus Burnley. Aston Villa play at home to West Ham. Norwich City versus Brighton Hove Albion. Man City play Salford City. Very well, what a tie that is, considering that Salford is like a place in Manchester, not too far away from Manchester United. So there might be a few interesting ones there. Millwall versus Dagenham Redbridge. Now, The minute I saw that one, I thought, well, this is going to get an interesting one because Dagenham and Redbridge play in Essex. However, they're not too far away from around the East London area, and there's a certain team in East London that Millwall don't like. And well, I'll let you guys think of what's going to happen when it comes to certain things that game. Liverpool versus Accrington Stanley. Again, another game which, if they don't bring up a certain thing in this game, then they sold it. So there was an advert back in the day when I was a kid. It was about milk. And these boys, two Scouse boys, who came in from playing football. One of them said that he spoke to Ian Rush, and Ian Rush said to him, "Yeah, if you drink your milk and blah blah blah, you could play for Accrington Stanley." And he goes, and one of the boys says, "Accrington Stanley." If they look on YouTube, you see it. It's fun. It'll be somewhere on YouTube. But yeah, that is a very very interesting time to play. Bristol City versus Wolves. Preston versus Charlton, Chelsea versus Morecambe, Middlesbrough versus Blackburn Rovers, AFC Bournemouth playing against West Brom, Mansfield at home to Wigan, Tamworth versus Tottenham, please Tamworth win that, Hull versus Doncaster, Sunderland versus Stoke, Leicester City versus QPR, Brentford versus Plymouth Argyle, Sheffield Wednesday are away to Coventry City, Newcastle are playing Bromley, and this is what I'm talking about with Bromley coming so far, and now going to be playing the big boys in St James's Park, which I think would be a great day out for them. I was actually kind of hoping that Bromley would play Crystal Palace, which would have been a good one as well. Everton versus Peterborough, Wycombe Wanderers versus Portsmouth, Birmingham City versus Lincoln City, Leeds at home to Harrogate, so that's kind of a derby as well. Nottingham Forest versus Luton Town, Sheffield United versus Cardiff City, Ipswich Town versus Bristol Rovers, Fulham versus Watford, and Crystal Palace versus Stockport County. So yeah, that was the draw of the FA Cup, which was drawn earlier this week, I believe, which was on Tuesday. So yeah, as we know, the current holders are Manchester United, and yeah, they're playing Arsenal in the third round. So not exactly an easy start for them in terms of defending the FA Cup, but you know, considering that they're playing us and we played them yesterday, it's kind of going to be an interesting tie. But the ties for the third round will be played over the weekend of Saturday, the 11th of January. And obviously, some of these games are going to be on television, so they're going to obviously switch these around to see what's what. But yeah, keep up to date on all the sporting websites, you know, Sky Sports, the BBC. I will see if I can mention it as well with the dates as well. But yeah, if anything, follow your favourite team and you'll see when the draw has been made for when a date or the game will be. So for anyone whose team is still in the FA Cup, best of luck to your team, whoever they're playing. Personally, not as much luck as Arsenal, but there you go. But yeah, all the best to your team in the FA Cup. It's always a good competition. I always enjoy watching the FA Cup, whether Arsenal get knocked out or not. It's always a good competition to watch. It is the best, for me, it's the best cup competition knockout in the world. So good luck to your teams, guys. So yeah, guys, that was me. That is me with all the updates in the rest of the sporting world, away from my 2 cents and the NFL and the Premiership. I will be doing another one of these later in due course with the latest results. Also, incidentally, congratulations again. Congratulations to the LA Dodgers for winning the World Series as well. And I have to give a bit of a turn off to the West Indies cricket team because you guys are just, yeah, pull your socks up. That's what I'm going to say. But yeah, guys, that's me with all the sporting world. I have tried to look at certain rivalries that I still want to talk about. I am trying to picture something together of what I want to do. But if there's any rivalries in sports that you guys want me to talk about, whether it's football, American football, basketball, individual sports like tennis, in terms of, like, for example, between Federer and Nadal, as an example, if you want me to talk about anything like that, yeah, please let me know what rivalries you'd want me to talk about. It would be good to get something out because a lot of people say they don't know in terms of, or I've had time to speak or read about things like that. So I'd love to speak more about that and let people know about what's going on in the sporting world and how things have been, in especially in certain rivalries as well. But yeah, let me know, guys, if there's anything you want me to speak about in that regard. But that's me. You've been watching Dino on the Away Days podcast and on the YouTube channel, on Podbean and on YouTube as well, as I've just said. Um, do stay tuned for my 2 cents and for my predictions over the course of the weekend for the NFL and the Premier League as well. Also, I'm going to be doing my 2 cents on Arsenal in their after their game against Manchester United last night, and I'll be doing another my 2 cents for Arsenal on the weekend when they play Fulham on Sunday, and I'll be doing another one for the Falcons, and I do believe the Falcons are playing the Vikings on Sunday as well, so I'll be doing that as well. So yeah, do keep up to date, do stay tuned. But that's me. I'm off. I'll see you guys next one. Take care.